maybe Sai, if you can, I mean, if you're not so keen on taking membership, so we are live streaming.
This is going on YouTube. That's what I'm saying.
So you can just attend this summit if possible in Feb in Mumbai. Where I don't know how your schedule is.
Yeah, so Rakesh is joining. I'll think about it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's going to be in person in Mumbai. It's going to be a
yeah.
slight.
2 days summit. So it's
You
going
know,
to be
plan ahead for that. Hey Ketan, hey Rakesh.
Yeah, hi Sai.
Hello.
Hi
Good morning,
everyone.
Rakesh. Good morning,
Good
Ketan.
morning.
Where are the videos? Why are people's videos turned off? Do you not want to network? You want to network without having your face seen, is it?
No, Wi-Fi is not working today.
Ah,
So I
then
think it's down till 12 p.m. So I'm joining from my phone only.
yeah, no worries, no worries. Then go ahead. Ketan, video. You can turn off your video, Rakesh, if you want. I see Ketan has not turned on his video.
Where is our expo?
Let me turn on recording because it's going to be 10:30 soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 10:30. So we're going to get this meeting started. And once I've finished my introduction, I will also post the live stream link to people so that people can follow this meeting along on YouTube. We're here for the fourth session of Super September, hosted by our own Firefly friend, Dr. Saurabh Patil. But I just want to make sure I lay down a few rules of the road. If you have something to say, please unmute yourself. Otherwise, please try to be on mute so that it doesn't disturb other people. There are no restrictions on what topics you can cover during a session like this. And this is not a typical Toastmasters meeting, so I will not be reading out the mission of the club. This meeting is being recorded and will be shared with people online. It's already actually being live streamed as well. So this your if you say something and the focus shifts to you, that information will be seen live on YouTube. All those things are happening, but that does not mean that you cannot enjoy the meeting to the fullest extent possible. It's my pleasure then to introduce our presiding officer to introduce the speaker. So with that, let me turn the spotlight over to Cynthia.
Hello and good morning to everybody. Thank you for joining a Saturday morning meeting. But we promise you that it's going to be very, very insightful and very helpful for the course of your relationship with LinkedIn. But before that, let me take the honor of introducing you to Toastmaster Dr. Saurabh Patil. Actually, he needs no introduction. He's quite a famous personality in Toastmasters and among various other clubs. But as duty suggests, I should. Wears multiple hats. He's a multitasker and he's all over the place. He's an empowering coach and he's also a specialist to what is called stop, pause, and restart, something that all of us have to do at some point in life. But he is an expert in that, and if ever you want to do that, you know where to go. He is a coach for something very, very niche. He yields his power in guiding men on mental health journeys, the specific to men with resilience and purpose. He is also working with NLP and mindfulness, and he offers personalized guidance to all who seek to grow. As a stop, pause, and restart specialist and expert, he helps clients to manage anger and react constructively. And he has a business of his own, which is into food and uh, quick restaurants. So that's about it for Dr. Toastmaster Dr. Saurabh Patil. Over to you.
Thank you so much, presiding officer. I was wondering who these people are. You're talking about so many people. I mean, that's just me, one person. But yeah, thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. So, hi everyone. First of all, thank you for joining on a busy Saturday morning. I know even though it's a weekend, Saturday mornings are still busy for a lot of us. But I'm grateful that you guys took some time off and joined this meeting. And it's great. I would love if you guys would put on your video. You know, it's a different energy, it's a different excitement to see the energetic faces. You know, it gives me a different energy. So I would love if you guys could turn on the video. All right, let's begin. So, hello everyone, good morning, and my name is Dr. Saurabh Patil, and today we are going to have this webinar on getting noticed on LinkedIn. So, I'm excited to guide you through a small webinar where we will be sharing a lot of actionable tips, quick tips to, optimize your profile, do something better, network on LinkedIn and engage, maybe build your own personal brand, maybe, raise the bar for your business. Because LinkedIn is a powerful tool to make all this happen. So a simple goal, as I said, will be I'll be sharing a few quick tips and actionable tips, especially that you can start immediately whenever you have time or when you are sitting idle with your phone. You can do these things with your phone on your LinkedIn profile. And by the end of the session, we will have a Q&A at the end of the session on whatever doubts you have so that maybe I can clear or clarify certain things. All right? Okay, awesome. So before I start, I want to ask you all, why do you want to get noticed on LinkedIn? Why is this so urge of getting noticed on LinkedIn? What builds the excitement around it? Anybody, you can just unmute and answer.
To make money.
To make money, yes. Yes, Nemat, for better career opportunities. Anyone else?
To be recognized as a
To be
professional.
recognized. Exactly. So a lot of people, exactly, get the networking again. So a lot of people want to get noticed on LinkedIn for various objectives. It could be, making money through business, making money through getting career opportunities, networking with the right-minded people, building your own. You know what they say, your network is your net worth. So building a quality network is one another thing. That's what. So recently, it has been noticed, or the study has shown, that there are 1.04 billion accounts on LinkedIn. That's worldwide, 1.04 billion. Out of those, 130 million are from India. And the big surprise is right here. 3.9. The recent study has shown 3.9 accounts are registered every second on LinkedIn. 3.9 accounts. So that's almost like a 4. So 4 accounts are getting registered every second on LinkedIn. That's how the platform is growing. That's how strong the platform is becoming day by day, every second by second. It's getting people. LinkedIn is not going to anyone. People are coming to LinkedIn. People are coming on a common ground to join, to network, to see each other, to build a strong connection. That's the power of LinkedIn. And that's the power of LinkedIn we all can leverage to grow ourselves or maybe build our own personal brand, network, build yourself, optimize your profile in order to get seen by recruiters. So there are multiple things you can do. Okay, another question. What is the attention span of a person who visits your profile? Attention span as in, for how long does a alien or a new person stay on your profile as soon as he sees a new profile? Any wild guess?
6 to 10 seconds.
8 to, yeah.
Okay, let me tell you. Post-COVID, the recent study has shown that post-COVID, I'm not talking about 23, 24, post-COVID, maybe 2020, 2021, the study has shown that the attention span has come down to 7 seconds. 7 seconds is the time when a new person visits any of your profile. And to top up to that or to add to that, recently in 2023, there has been a study which they said that the 7 seconds of attention span has come down to 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds. So now in 2024, any person who visits your profile will stay there for 5 to 7 seconds before they decide either to move out or to go deep into your profile. So we, as an individual or people who have profile on LinkedIn, will have only 5 to 7 seconds of time to grab the attention of that person. It could be anything. It could be your future partner. It could be the future recruiter. It could be someone you want to connect or network with, who might help you grow, or whose connection might, build you a different business or anything. But you have only 5 to 7 seconds. That's very short. Trust me, it's very short. But how do we do it? Of course, it's very short, it's difficult. But then there are ways to, do that, ways to attract that person to your profile. And that is what the tips that I'm going to share today are going to talk about. So, first and foremost thing, when we try to, okay, let me just share my screen if possible. Yeah. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, it's visible.
Okay. So the first and foremost thing that that happens on LinkedIn, or that is important on LinkedIn, is what we call as a top card. Now, what the top card consists of is few basic things: your profile picture, your headline, your banner, your about section, and call to action. So a lot of times when people visit your profile, first they see is a profile picture, the headshot, which is, if it is not clear, people tend to move out of the profile, because of course they can read a name, but if that name doesn't have a face, you lose that connection. We are all humans, and when humans connect to a humans, it's a different bond. But if they don't see another human's or clear face that's on your headshot, you lose that connection. But if you have a clear picture on your profile, you might get more views, like 21 times more views than your normal one. And for that, you need to have a clear face with a decent background, which will highlight your face, not blend it. What most of the people do is they put up their photograph, which is like either on a lectern or standing behind a lectern on the stage or somewhere out, which shows half of your body. When you do that, your face is lost, and there is too much distraction, there's too much distortion, and there's too much clutter in your photograph or that picture. Try to have a clear picture of your face, maybe like 70% of your face and the rest 30%. With a decent light color, or even if you are having a dark color background, make sure your face doesn't get darkened, or maybe your face doesn't blend in. Your face is equally related because of the background. That way, if you are clearly visible, people are able to connect with you. That's first. Number two, the headline. There is a small portion, if you see below the photograph, that is where the headline is. The headline is like your elevator pitch. You only have 2 to 3 lines, or maybe 3 lines of 4 max. Those 3 to 4 lines is like your elevator pitch. The moment that person reads that headline in that span of 5 to 7 seconds, if it's catchy, if it's interesting, you're lucky that person will dig deep into your profile, maybe to your about section, your work experience. But if it's boring or if it's not that interesting, done. That person is moved out. The headline should be catchy. And when I say the headline should be catchy, I don't mean by adding too many adjectives or too many, big words. See what you're doing to do for the people. That's number one. Highlight your skills, what you're good at, what you're doing right now. Maybe add a value proposition to it. Or maybe a passion to make a strong impression. Like there's some people who even I have written it in my profile that I am on a mission to help 1 million men channel their anger. Or there are a lot of people who highlight their skills, like what Sai has written. So make sure you club these 3-4 points: your skills, your value proposition, and passion about something that you like or you're passionate about. But it has to be very crisp in 3 to 4 lines. We all know we use ChatGPT, so you can use ChatGPT to maybe build a small elevator pitch with all these points, which will help you to put it there. Okay, that's one. Third thing. Now, there is one important thing which I listed in this slide, which I wanted to highlight, is the sound button. Before we go on the sound button, see, we are growing globally. We are Toastmasters, we are speakers, we are public speakers, we're into business, we are coaches, we are freelancers, we are in job, we do a lot of things. But we also, because of all these things, we also interact with people around the globe. We network with people around the globe. We talk to them. And when this happens, there are a lot of things that are lost in communication. And one of the things that are lost in communication is the name and the pronunciation. When we encounter someone who's from a different country or from a different geography, we find it difficult initially to pronounce their name, unless it's a very common name that we see in movies or hear it in some book, read it in some book, hear it in our day-to-day life, or we see it in movies. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to pronounce the name. Similarly, for people around the globe, they find it difficult to pronounce our name. And to ease this, what LinkedIn has done is LinkedIn has put up a very good thing is about the sound. If you can see my profile, there is a sound button here. When you add this button, it helps you or it allows you to record your name in your own voice. So when you do that, when you're networking with people globally, when you're adding people from different countries, they're able to pronounce your name. And when someone new pronounces our name, especially from a diverse or different geography, we feel a different connection coming to it. Yeah, this person is able to pronounce my name rightly. So yeah, you feel happy, right? Because you're not expecting that person to do that. So this is one good point about it, where you are able to record your own name in your own voice, which helps the other person pronounce it right. So that's one of the, it's a very small thing or it's a very minor thing, but it's one of the important key points. Now, one of the things that your banner has, now we saw headshot, we saw the headline, which is also like your elevator pitch, the button, now the banner. Now, one of the negative things in my banner, yes, I'm going to change the banner. I have 3-4 options ready with me. I'm going to change it in a day or two. One of the things in my banner is that what I've written is not clearly visible for someone who's watching it from far or maybe an online webinar like this. It has to be readable. Sai has a very good banner, which is very clear, very much readable and clean. A lot of people try to put too many things into the banner. It becomes a clutter or a cluster, which makes the other person lose interest. Kya padu? There are too many things. So don't put too many things inside your banner. Don't put. Also try to avoid very less points. If you add too many, 2-3 points, it's again going to, of course, it might generate a curiosity, but then again, it might not interest the person. Make sure your banner is neat, clean, as well as crisp in terms of what you're offering. It can be either what you're doing, what you're offering, or what your achievement is. But do not clutter it or put too much information just because we have a space. See, if you guys, so let me give an example. We all use Apple devices, right? If you guys have seen any Apple website, for that matter, or the US website or the Indian website, you'll see a lot of white space behind the products. I mean, when you scroll through the iPhone, iPad, any device or any product, or even on the home page, you'll see a lot of blank space, be it white, black. What does that make you feel? It makes you feel neat, clean, and elegant and rich, right? So that's what it is. Blank space are not necessarily to be filled. Sometimes you can keep certain blank spaces, which keeps it very, very clean and neat. It gives a very neat and elegant impression about you. Talks a lot about you as a person or as a profile. So make sure you don't clutter your banner. Keep the information crisp and neat. And make sure the banner and the headshot go complement each other. Now here, my banner is too light and my headshot is a different shade. Make sure the banner and the headshot complement each other. So that will give you another edge. Now, we've seen all this. Now moving to the about section. First, the person who has come to your profile is impressed by what you have shown here in this section. Then you move to about section. He or she will scroll down. Now, when you're writing an about section, people want to write a lot. They want to include everything from your childhood to your till date, what you've achieved. Now, this is a very catchy area because the about section is very big. You want to put into everything. The person would want to read everything, yet considering the attention span, it would be a big turn off if there is too much information here. So what you do? When you want to write about your achievements, your journey as an entrepreneur, as an individual, or as a person, whatever, try to build a story around it. If you have heard people today talk a lot about storytelling, be it in your speeches, be it in your corporate presentations, be it in your book if you're an author. Yes, it's important because people love stories. You watch movies, unless there's a story in the movie, you find it very boring. That movie flops out. If there is a story which holds you from start to the end, the movie is a hit. Because that's how we humans are. We are built in such a way that we connect with stories. We build trust with stories. So make sure your story as an individual or a brand is reflected in the about section. And when I tell you like writing stories in the about section, it doesn't mean a long story like once upon a time there was a princess and all that stuff. That is again another problem. Make sure you use only 3 to 4 paragraph max. Even 2 to 3 paragraphs are also good, but 3 to 4 paragraphs max in your about section. Make sure the story is short, but it has a lot of takeaways and it is crisp to the point. Number 2, make sure your story highlights your journey where you have learned your skills and your unique values. Fourth thing, if you see my profile or about section, everything is written in one file. One of the things you can do is try to highlight certain words because when you highlight certain words, maybe include them in between 2 stars or maybe write it in capital or highlight it in bold or something. Those are the keywords or key points that the reader will catch. And that will generate more curiosity and that will help the reader or the person stick to that story or stick to that about section. Because if it's very monotonous, he or she might move out halfway. So make sure you have certain words which are highlighted, keywords which might talk about your skills, like a keynote speaker here, or maybe a culinary expertise, or something else which highlight about you. Make sure you highlight those keywords in and about section. Where the person, if is reading throughout the story, is it these keywords or these highlighted words are like those astonishing moments in movies, or maybe those climax where you are stuck on a chair and you want to see what happens next. So make sure you do that. It's a very catchy thing and it will help you. Another thing is your URL. How many of you do use a QR code when you go on networking for your group? Do you guys use QR code?
Oh, I don't, but I've seen people use it and it's really cool.
Yeah. So even in last session, I think Santosh had one QR code for his profile when he was presenting.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So QR code is one thing which, helps people reach you. So if you scan those QR code, that QR code will reach to your profile. QR code is one of the most easy ways to, people connect with people, or maybe let people connect with you through your profile. And that is another thing that adds to the QR code is their URL. You want to send a URL to people. Make sure that the URL is again crisp. See, LinkedIn is all about optimizing. It's not about something that is very lengthy. At the same time, it's not about something that is very short. LinkedIn is all about optimizing. When people talk that about LinkedIn optimization, or maybe optimizing your profile on LinkedIn, it's all about having the right amount of things there, the right amount of stuff there, not too much, not too less. It applies everywhere, on your banner, on your about section, in your headline, even when we'll be talking about your posts as well. It's all about optimizing your profile. So along with QR code, a lot of people do use URL. So this is the URL, if you can see. See, this part of the URL, especially this one or this one, is mostly constant, because that's what the LinkedIn banner is, or that's what the LinkedIn start is. That's constant. But what you can do is play with the latter part. You make sure your URL. Yeah, I think Bala Sahib has a question. Can we take it in the end, or you want me to answer right now?
No,
it's
actually, it was not a question.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you are also showing your LinkedIn profile, because we couldn't see what were you trying to highlight.
We can only see
Okay. My profile is open now. Are you able to see my profile now?
No,
or
no, we are seeing the presentation.
Okay, good. Okay, just a second.
Saurabh, you might have to restart your sharing because you might have shared only your
Yeah,
presentation.
Oh, I thought you guys are able to see my profile.
no.
Okay, just a second. Can I reshare site?
Yes.
Yeah, you should be able to reshare. But this time, just choose your entire desktop, not just a single screen.
Okay, yeah. I think I only chose my presentation last time. Right.
Thanks, Bala Sahib.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bala sir. So are you able to see my profile now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so now if you see, thanks for pointing out.
Saurabh, if you could just zoom in, like increase the size of the content, as in just hit Control plus or something, or Command plus to increase the size of the font.
On the PPT, or
No, on the LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now
Increase your. It's becoming better. Yeah, we can see the heading of your profile. Yeah.
okay, the banner is lost. Okay, so this is my profile. If you can see it, this is what I have written as my headline. Can you see the headline?
Yes.
Yes.
And this is the button I was talking about, the sound button, which helps you record your own name in your own words, in your own tone, with the right kind of pronunciation. This helps when you're connecting people from a different region who are not aware about how we pronounce our names. That's my headshot, and this is the banner I was talking about. There are certain things which are not readable here. That's why we're going to change the banner and we're going to make sure that the banner, the color, the details blend with my photo or the headshot. Otherwise, these two are very much contrast now. Has to complement each other. And this is the about section I was talking about. The 3 to 4 paras here. So 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 paras max would help. If you could highlight the keywords in it, it would definitely highlight what your achievements are. Maybe your skills, your uh, value proposition. Okay, if you highlight those few words here, maybe put it in capital, they would catch the attention of the reader and they won't let the reader move out unless they go through the whole about section. And when we came across QR code and URL, so this is the URL I was talking about. This part of URL is constant because that's what LinkedIn is. That's LinkedIn's part. What you can do is you can change this part. Now, people don't look at URL. Usually either they don't know if there is something called as URL or they don't pay attention to it. But URL is equally important. Don't make the URL again lengthy when we talk about optimization. Don't make it too short. Few key things about your URL is first is make sure you have your name either in short or maybe full name if you can accommodate it. Then in order to make sure it looks professional, make sure you add something what you're doing right. Like for Sai, I can say entrepreneur. Maybe for Zahir, we can say either entrepreneur or something else. Or for me, it's restaurateur and a quote speaker. So 2, 3 keywords which talk about you or what you offer and your name. That's it. See, the more crisp and optimized the URL is, the more interesting it would, people would find and connect. So these are what we call as the top card of a LinkedIn. Now, when you move into a profile, when you want to move into a profile, there are certain things, few basic things, not much, like your work experience. Your work experience. Make sure you add it in the descending order. When I say descending, I talk about your recent achievements or your recent work profile. Your recent work profile has to be at the top. And then you go back and you do write a few lines about what it is about. Right? Now, this is about a very basic thing about your profile. Now, the reason of this webinar is because we are here because we want to get noticed. But how do we get noticed? What do we do? One of the important things of social media or any platform for that matter is you be consistent. By consistency, I mean you post regularly. You engage your network. You connect with the like-minded people. You join the right amount of groups. And you follow the leaders. What do I mean by posting regularly? We all are stuck in a busy life, right? We are entrepreneurs, we are on a job, we have too many things in our personal lives. Now, I'm not saying you have to post every day, unless you have a team who is doing it for you. But even that would, hammer someone a lot. You don't have to post every day on LinkedIn, maybe 3 times a week or 4 times a week. Most of the people who are on LinkedIn are professionals who either have weekends off, Saturday, Sundays, or Sundays, or Saturdays are either half days, or maybe they're something else. So the crucial part of LinkedIn is Monday to Friday and maybe Saturdays as well for some. What I suggest is you post 3 times a week, which is optimum. And if you put 4 times a week. Now, how do you post? When you post, again, either add a story. Don't make your post very lengthy. I've seen a lot of posts on LinkedIn which are very lengthy. When you click on the see more, it becomes like a 2-page or a 1-page ebook or something. It's that big. yeah, I mean, people again will lose interest. Like when you click the see more and you see, oh, there's so much to read. Okay, I'll read it later on, but there's no later. And then you forget about reading about that post and you get lost into your own review. So make sure again, when you post 2 to 3 times, 3 to 4 times a week with 3, 4 paragraphs, and you also include hashtags and tag people. So Insta is more about hashtags. Of course, the hashtag plays important role on LinkedIn as well, but not so many. Few, and maybe tag few people in your network. When you tag few people in your network, your post also goes visible on their network, and that's how it goes viral. Try when you're putting a picture on your post, make sure it is good enough to talk about the post rather than describe. You can put a carousel, you can put your pic where you're into something. Let's say for example, Sai is into this AI thing, the platform for resume and everything. I'm not clear what it does. Sorry about that, Sai. So if he's doing something like this, maybe a post where he's talking about his work and he being on the laptop, or he may be engaging someone would help in the picture. Or maybe carousel. Also, videos create a lot of visibility and connectivity. When you're putting a post on LinkedIn, make sure you also put one video in a week or 15 days. So if the person is watching you talk or the person is watching you engage them, it would add more engagement on your profile. We'll talk about engagement as well. But what time do you post? That's another thing. One of the important things about posting is the timing. There are certain times which the researchers have found out that, if you post at those times on those specific days, it gets you more engagement and more visibility. Like if it's on Monday, if you post at in between 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Monday, it gives you more engagement. It's similar for Tuesday, 3 to 5 p.m. Wednesdays, 12 to 3 p.m. during the lunch hour. So, there could be some basis for this research because that could be the time when people would be surfing the internet on those days. But it has proven, I have personally seen the results for my postings. If it's a Monday, try to post it at 9 a.m. If it's a Tuesday, maybe 3 to 5 p.m. It's a Wednesday, 12 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, in the lunch hour. If it's Thursday, again, either morning or evening. And Fridays, they usually suggest posting by 3 p.m. or something because Fridays are mostly weekends or a beginning of a weekend for many. So post 3, 4 p.m., a lot of people disengage from work, they're traveling, they're moving. So that is the time when they start surfing from you. Now, in this busy life, I understand it could be very difficult for us to keep up with the times. We may not be free at that time to post. That is where the schedule button is. When you try to write a post on LinkedIn, you'll see a small clock at the bottom right, just next to the save or submit button. That is where you schedule your post. You can write your post at 12 midnight. You can write your post at 5 a.m. in the morning. But you make sure you schedule it on that date at that time. So once you schedule your post, let's say I'm writing a post now, maybe it's around 11:15 or something, 11:08. I'm writing a post now. I want the post to be posted at 5 p.m. today, but I would be traveling at that time, or I would be in my cafe. So I'll schedule the post. So whenever, even if I'm in the middle of some work, or even if I'm engaged with something at that time, the post will automatically go live at that time. And it will have its own engagement because it's posted at the right time. That's the beauty of LinkedIn. You write a post, you schedule it, it goes live at automatically. Now, how do you engage with your network? Posting is not enough. You have to engage your network, your connections. You have to make sure your engagement is visible by a different network. Whenever you're free, whenever you're going through LinkedIn, try to like and comment on your connections or people you know on the posts. Make sure you're engaging them by writing some comment, by liking their posts. So that shows the reactions, the comments are very much visible. That increases your visibility. And the people who are commenting or engaging the same post who are not in your connection might also engage you because they've seen you engaging. When you're posting, should not be enough for your own webs, for your own wall or your own profile. Make sure that you are connected with groups of like-minded people. Excuse me, sorry. For example, if you're an entrepreneur, there are various groups of entrepreneurs. Make sure you post the same post on that entrepreneur group as well. So people in that group are also able to see your post. If there are any key influential people in that group, if there are key industry leaders in that group, they would be going through your post. Who knows? They might connect with your post. They might connect with you someday. So it's an open platform with the global people watching you. Connect with those people by posting into the groups as well. When you join these groups, when you post, people comment, people engage you. You are able to look at others' posts as well. You are able to engage them as well. So that's how you build a community. That's how you build new connections. Now, but why does content matters? We all have heard the cliche phrase, content is king. Yes, it is. But the content has to also go viral. If you're sharing some insights which are valuable, eventually the beauty of LinkedIn is it will put you in a place which will term you as a thought leader, an expert in your own profile or in your own industry. Let me tell you something. I have been posting, I'm on LinkedIn since 2014, 15 or something, when LinkedIn was new, but I never paid attention to what it could do. I became active on LinkedIn, a bit of active in 2019, 2020, and I became aggressively active on LinkedIn from 2021 because I wanted to promote my coaching and speaking business as well. The beauty of LinkedIn is that in the last 2 years, because of my consistent postings, I am getting emails from LinkedIn editors where they ask me to share my thoughts on the LinkedIn news. They ask me to share a video on certain topic which they post in their own groups. And there are certain people who, one of my mentor who taught me a lot about LinkedIn. These guys have been active since the last 10 years on LinkedIn, consistent since the last 10 years. Just imagine their perseverance. These guys are called up by LinkedIn into their office, interviewed them, they term them as thought leaders, which puts you on a different pedestal. Now, I'm not saying do that. It's not a priority for everyone. The bottom line is the more you engage professionally, the more visible you are, the more connections you will build on LinkedIn. And the more visuals you use, like carousels, your videos, and even personal stories. People love to connect with your personal stories, as I said before. Ask questions when you interact with people in the groups. That will, show people that this person is active. Now, a very important thing that we see on LinkedIn, which is taken a lot of visibility these days. If you see some of the profile, they do have a golden bulb. Some of the profile do have something called as a top voice. Some of the profile, like mine, it has say stop coaching mentoring voice. Do you know what that is? Anybody? I think some of you might know that. Anyone? Kalpana?
Just
So, yeah.
yeah, I think it is talking about the number of years of experience over here, or just you know, It's letting people know that you're a coach. And I
Yeah.
think I might have lost you over here, but that is the conclusion from whatever I have heard, and I'm
Okay, no
sure.
problem. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what this thing does is you get a badge, a blue badge, either a top voice, top coaching, mentoring voice, top entrepreneurial voice. Yeah, Bala said.
I think it is related to the kind of content that you engage with and the kind of content that you put on the platform. For
Yes.
example, if I talk about strategy, then going forward, I might be like recognized as a top strategy voice.
Right, right. So that is one part of it, Bala said, I would say. That
Okay.
how you engage, what consistently postings you're doing. But to verify or maybe add to the credibility of that, what LinkedIn has come up with is something called as collaborative articles. There's something called as collaborative articles. If you see here, LinkedIn has come up with a section called as collaborative articles, which has all the topics in the world, everything, whatever industry, topic, niche, work profile, whatever micro niche, you name it, it's there. All those topics, it is listed from A to B and C. So from A to Z, it has listed all the topics in the world that people talk about, industries that flourish. Now you can go into those collaborative articles, check whatever niche or whatever industry you're in. Let's say if Kalpana wants to get into speaking, there is a section called speaking, which has public speaking, which has conference speaking, everything. Sai wants to get into AI. Sai wants himself to be known as a thought leader in AI or an entrepreneurship. So there is a section called as entrepreneur or AI and entrepreneurs, everything. You go into that. There are various articles in that section. And those articles have various comments or questions or challenges that industry or that niche faces. Now, what LinkedIn does is LinkedIn allows you to answer those articles. The minimum is 3 articles. Yes,
I just want to point out that it's 11:15, so we have about 20 minutes left in the
Okay.
hour. So just giving you a heads up about if you want to manage your time for Q&A and open discussion.
Sure. What I'll do is I'll just finish this collaborative article thing and then maybe open up for questions, because then there is too much to share and we don't have much time.
Up to you how you want to structure it, but I just want to give you.
Sure. So, okay, back to the collaborative articles. So let me show you what it is. Yeah. So collaborative articles has all the topics in the world, as I said, and it has a few sections which allows you to answer the questions. Now, if you answer the questions, this is how it looks like. This is my page where I answer questions on coaching and mentoring. Now, there are so many challenges that the industry faces or the coaches face. These challenges are posted here. Your coaching advice is misunderstood by them. When you open this, it will help you answer different sections. See, this is an article. Now, what is your perspective on this? This person has posted. Now it allows you to post your perspective on this. Now, when you post here, you are into certain top percentage of the people who are contributing to this article. Like their top here, and if you let's suppose you are write an answer to this question, you give your own perspective how to handle it. You might be in the top 20%, you might be in the top 15%. LinkedIn will show you once you answer that. People who consistently answer these questions or these articles and who are in the top 5%, they are awarded a badge, a blue badge about that section. Let's say coaching, mentoring. When I started answering all the challenges in coaching and mentoring, I was in the top 20%. I answered all the questions. Eventually, I moved up into the top 5%. Because LinkedIn was seeing what I am posting, my perspectives about each and every challenge. So when you go into the top 5%, you are awarded the badge of that certain section. And when you keep writing about different sections, see, if you see it is A to Y, you have all the things in the world. In A, you have this. In B, as per the alphabetical order, you have all the industry challenges, all the niche in the world and their challenges. If you keep answering and putting down your perspective, LinkedIn keeps noticing that, and eventually it awards you the top batch of that section. Now, when you have a top batch of that section like this, say this, it gives you an edge over your profile. People notice it. People understand that you are expert into that field. You have so many, like Kalpana said, you have so many years of experience into that field. You're an expert in that field. You're maybe a thought leader in that field. So it gives you that edge. And when you gives you that edge, you connect. People connect with you. People call you. Maybe people engage you into different forums. So that's one of the important things about LinkedIn, which existed 2-3 years back, but recently it has taken a lot of notice because people have started answering these questions. Everybody wants to get a top badge, and when you reach a certain level with a top voice badge, there's one badge which is a blue badge called as top voice badge. When you reach that, LinkedIn itself will call you to their office or maybe engage you in different ways to get your perspective and show it to the world. So it's 11:20. I think I'll have to close because the more we talk about LinkedIn, the more time we would need because it's endless and it's very vast. So instead of going on talking, I would open up the forum for questions where we can engage into questions once I missed or what you guys want to do.
So, Saurabh, can you stop sharing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want help in managing the questions, or will you keep an
I
eye
think
on
there
it?
are very few people, so you guys can raise your hand or maybe unmute and ask.
Zahir wants to ask a question.
Yeah, Zahir.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Dr. Saurabh. I think this was a very, very good session. There are a lot of things I felt like I knew about LinkedIn because I'm in business development. So I do use it mainly to connect with leads, and that's as much as I do. So this is opening up a whole new world of, different ways to actually utilize the tool. The thing that I felt is that, it is a lot of work because there are so many things going on. You have to actually take out time, be consistent and be authentic and, really have to put thought into it. So
Yeah.
I just want to ask, what is the motivation that we should go in with? Is it like, trying to get work, change jobs? Because I see people posting a lot only when they're trying to get something out of it. And then, I see them once they change their job, they stop posting. So just to understand the why, so that I can also figure out if I have to think of my why, what would it be? So if there's any story from your side, that you found posting to be or using
Okay.
LinkedIn and it's really changed things in a big way for you.
Yeah, so this is very frequent, Zahir. People stop posting when they either change their job or profile, or maybe they have stopped engaging people, or maybe people have stopped engaging. So the biggest motivation is the why, what you want. One of the things which my mentor asked me when I engaged her for my LinkedIn profile 2 years back is, well, she said, Saurabh, first tell me what is your objective about LinkedIn. There's too many things you can do with LinkedIn, but what is your objective? People usually don't understand why LinkedIn exists. It's not a Facebook, it's not an Instagram, it's a professional networking. So first we should understand why we need LinkedIn. Is it for visibility? Is it for engagement? Is it for business? So my motivation for LinkedIn came when I got my first speaking engagement through LinkedIn, a paid speaking engagement through LinkedIn in 2021. Another motivation is why I keep getting coaching assignments. Now, why I'm consistently posting on LinkedIn is because since the last 2 years, I've, of course, one of the biggest and stupidest thing is that I've got a lot of my followers have increased. I've got a lot of new connections to LinkedIn. But most of my coaching and speaking business comes from LinkedIn, not from Instagram. So I'm invited for speaking into certain forums, online, offline, anywhere through LinkedIn. I get coaching clients, coaching queries from LinkedIn. Trust me, I'm not making this up, but this is what I witnessed. And this has kept my motivation high because I'm actually getting business from LinkedIn.
So
So
it's a
yeah,
lead generation mainly for you.
lead generation is happening from me. I'm not putting any kind of promotional thing. But the only thing I did is since the last 2 years is post about what I do consistently. let's say I'm a coach, I help men channel their anger. So I talk about anger, how it reacts, how it affects men. I am a speaker, so I talk a lot about speaking. I post about my engagements into various speaking communities. So just regular postings. And yeah, there's one more thing which I forgot to mention, especially thanks Zahir for pointing it out. There's something called as view your services. So LinkedIn has recently come out with a small page apart from your profile, which will talk about your services. So when you, I don't know, I think you have to activate it or you have to optimize it. If you have that button just below your headline, you can view your services on that page and people will connect you through that. So since I have activated that page, every day I'm getting 3 to 4 leads for coaching through that page. Even I've got 3, 4 yesterday, so I have to reply to them. If you can send a proposal, then you can engage. So yeah, the lead generation, the business is what my motivation is. It's very important for you, everyone, to understand why you want LinkedIn for.
And just a quick follow-up is from an entrepreneur or startup perspective, is it more about just talking about achievements and what the company is doing? Again, mainly focus on visibility.
You can talk about that. That's very important because that will show your success story. But also talk about what your learnings from your failure because that will show about your journey. Success stories are one thing, your journey is another thing. So people know. See, everyone, there are a lot of people who show a lot of rosy things. But when you show the other side of the story, people connect. It's like this, matlab, for a fitness expert or for a person who's 100 kg, if you show some model who's a six-pack, that person will not connect. But if you show someone who was fat, but who has transformed himself, that is where that person will connect. Similarly, if you show your learnings from your failure and then your success stories, people will connect. Yeah. Anyone else?
No, I actually do not have a question, but thank you. I always treated LinkedIn as a sort of a weight on myself because I had created a profile and I never ever got leads. I have also been a part of LinkedIn fraternity, I think, since its inception. And I think I even killed myself by not at all being active for the past couple of years. I've resurfaced and I am posting things now, but I didn't know how to use it to my advantage. I always felt it was just so that I can read up the posts of others, you know, how do I put it, the professional path, what they are currently doing, and what is new right now. I'm a trainer. So what is new in the training field or, what are the new topics that has come up? So I just did to upgrade myself where the skills were concerned. But I can use this professionally to such an extent has been an eye opener. So thank you so much.
Welcome. I'm
Also, one
glad of it.
question.
Yeah.
Do you actually undertake if someone tells you, okay, just revamp my LinkedIn page? Do you do that? I mean, there are
I don't do
states,
that because I won't say I'm the right person for that, but I can point you to someone who does that.
please do so because, I
Sure.
write well, but when it comes to myself, I find it so fake because I feel I'm a Pied Piper and I'm unable to relate to, saying s- anything good about myself because instantaneously there's a question mark like, are you boasting or, are you just going overboard? So that is when I realized, maybe I can be doctor to others, but I myself need a doctor to, take care of my
Very true. Very
ailment.
true.
Thank you
No,
so
no,
much.
very true. I have couple of friends, or even my mentor does that. She does optimizing profile for people. She even runs a program, so I can point it out because I learned a lot of things from her, even what to post and how to post.
Thank you
So
so much.
yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate that help. Thanks.
Hey guys, this is just a thought. Sorry, Saurabh, I just don't mean to interrupt what you're doing. But if we wanted to get together and create a small WhatsApp group of people who are in the same boat as Kalpana, myself also, that we need a little bit of a push. How do we convince ourselves that our LinkedIn profile needs to be updated? I think, Ketan, you're saying that you plan to update your website, your LinkedIn. Bala Sahib, I don't know if you were trying to do it, but you came to the meeting, I guess, intending to improve your LinkedIn. So if we create a group of like-minded people who are in the same boat, might be good to talk, bounce ideas off each other, and feel a little less like we're posting or we're faking it till we make it. So if there's any interest in this, I'll create a WhatsApp group. Please do join. It'll be fun, and we can encourage and support each other instead of doing it all by ourselves.
Sure. That's a great idea.
Definitely. So yeah, if there's no more questions, thank you guys. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. And I would say treat LinkedIn. You can use LinkedIn like a profile, like even your website, which you can share, for engaging others. So don't have to worry, because a lot of times when we have transitioned from Facebook to LinkedIn, of course, LinkedIn makes us feel overwhelmed. Don't do that. You cannot do everything in one day. Start from small changes, which I suggested, and consistently, eventually you'll reach them. So yeah, all the best for your LinkedIn journey.
One more comment from Zahir.
Sorry, you mentioned, your mentor talks about what to post, how to post. So I just want to just understand that. So if I'm thinking about posting, should I write about my experiences, like, part of the journey, or should I always put content that is helpful for others? So because everyone is always thinking of it from their perspective. So just that one clarification would help.
Okay, let me tell you something. I have it here in my notes because I keep it very handy, even when I prepare my post. So this is something she told me, and if I share one or two of my posts which she wrote, you will see that. So when you write a post, just answer 3 questions. Just answer these 3 questions. So people will connect and you will know what to post. Number 1 is what? What are you posting about? Number 2 is how. How is it beneficial? How have you come there or reached there? And number 3, the most important question is, okay, why? Why is 1? Why is the 3rd one? Why are you posting it? So the why could include why are you posting it in terms of your success story, or why you want people to read it, and what's in it for the people who are reading it. So if you're able to answer these 3-4 questions through your post, you will definitely have engagement and people will be able to read it. People will be able to engage or connect to it.
I think the last one is like on point, is that, what's in it for the reader? Like how will they read it?
If I'm reading your post, okay, that's a post, but then what's in it for me? What do I learn from it, or what do I take away from it, or what is Zahir offering? If there's no call to action or what's in it from me, then you lose the engagement again.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks. Good.
Yeah, I think, Sai, we are good to go.
If you could just hand it back to Cynthia, if she's still in the meeting. No, I see Cynthia. That'll be it.
Just a sec. Just my laptop might turn on. Just a sec.
I don't think Cynthia's video is on. Let me see. All right. I think Cynthia is unable to join the meeting. So once Saurabh returns, I'll just close the meeting. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It's been a pleasure having you on this meeting. And of course, a big credit to Saurabh for stepping up at the last minute. Our initial plan for this session was going to be a session on delivering content on video, because a lot of our work is not just in person. We also do a lot of meetings and speeches on video. But unfortunately, we couldn't pull that off because the trainer was not available today. So Saurabh stepped in at the last minute, and we are all very grateful to him for doing that for us and for sharing such an interesting and insightful session on the importance of LinkedIn, how you can leverage it, all the nooks and crannies of LinkedIn that many people don't think about much. For example, your URL and that little how to pronounce your name button. Those things are such small things which together cumulatively add a lot of value. And I'm really grateful to Saurabh for having done that session for us. If there's nothing else, we can end this meeting. Guys, thank you. We're also meeting again tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Just like LinkedIn is a tool for networking, tonight's session is about leadership, how to become a better leader. And you cannot become a better leader just by reading books. It's also helpful to have the conversation or listen to how other people have approached the same challenges you might be facing. So I think tonight's session with the immediate past district director, Hardik Shah, is going to be one such session where you'll learn a lot. So we're looking forward to that. It's at 7. The host for that meeting is going to be a firefly just like ourselves, Bhuvi. She has done all the hard work of preparing and looking at Hardik's biography to understand what questions to ask. But that session starts at 7 p.m. tonight. Same link. Please do join for that. And that'll round out your Toastmasters experience. 3 sessions on delivery, 1 session on networking, and 1 session on leadership. And that for the month of September, I think we've covered a lot of ground as a training program. So Saurabh, let me just highlight you one last time and thank you for everyone on behalf of everyone. Saurabh, I was just thanking you. Thank you for stepping up and doing this session for us when our original plans could not be actioned. I was just saying that tonight's session is on leadership. If everybody can join, that'll be wonderful. Thank you. And that's it for now. If there are no more questions, we can end the session.
Thank you.